7:10 in the morning. Sun is rising for an hour now. Maybe next time I'll use my tripod, or yeah. Just to use a different perspective next time. It's so powerful, so mighty. I wanted to share a story, and it's interesting because a few weeks or months ago I know I would have taken more time to just process what is going on, and right now I know that I want to share that. I'm actually sharing that there is no decision about that. I just clicked, and I'm currently living something very interesting because it has been a few days since I there are ideas inside of me saying that I can't find a way to go and buy some groceries, and I do, or I did. I couldn't really find, or I could say I didn't have the energy to just go, or it more precisely, whenever I thought of the idea to go to the supermarket, it just shut something inside of me, inside of my body, and now I know that there's nothing to be forced. You don't have to provoke anything, and it was interesting because I just went for buying some stuff in the local supermarket, something like an hour ago, with these feelings of guilt and shame inside. I do have ideas about why I feel that, but I won't go in the details of the why, because to me why doesn't really matter. The true important thing is that it is happening. And what is the most interesting is, in the previous occurrences, could I say, last days, whenever I felt that it wasn't okay, I just didn't go, and just was thinking that I just needed time to just process whatever was going on, because obviously the child inside was he felt threatened, and I just didn't want to be brutal and to shake him, to just go there and do it anyway. And I think it has been, une ritournelle. I don't know how to say in English, but a jingle or ritornello. I'm just watching on my favorite translating site, which is Lingui, which is a good translator because it uses examples. It's not trying to translate out of context, but using dozens and hundreds of references that the website is gathering, so that you have sentences of what you want to translate, and so that you have the best use of what you want to translate. And yeah, what was interesting is this morning I decided to just go anyway, because I had this feeling that I did want to have stuff in my refrigerator and in my, I don't know how to say, placard, in my cupboards. I did want to have stuff because I was kind of running out of stuff, basic stuff. And I have this simultaneous feeling that I shouldn't have done that. So this is what I want to share, is simultaneously I know I had to go and to buy the stuff and I kind of think that I did go and buy some stuff even though I wasn't feeling ready, because I have this intuition that I needed to go through this experience of me having bought stuff, and feeling that, oh no, I spent too much money and I shouldn't have bought this and that. And yeah, the true thing is not about should I or yeah, you can spend some time thinking, and it's perfectly fine to just think about it and to reflect and to say I should have or I should have not done that. But the true thing that I want to share, as always, is presence and this constatation, recognition, this observation, that it doesn't matter. And I remember that whenever I was in the grocery store, I was feeling like it was very interesting because I was en temps réel, comment on dit? I was aware that I was experiencing this shame and guilt. And what was very interesting is that I just clicked and used my credit card and paid anyway. And I think that it's very interesting to feel that, yeah, I just needed to go through this, and I'm currently feeling it right now. But I'm not trying to avoid that. I'm just here, and I'm not trying to be afraid of being ashamed or to be ashamed of being ashamed, I think sometimes this is what can be stuck, or what can block us from being who we want to be, or whatever, do what we want to do. And yeah, this shutting or suppressing energies that I can feel right now. And yeah, I have this feeling that in a few hours I will be glad having some groceries in my kitchen, but right now and what is great is that now I know that in these moments I need to take a step back and to not eat right now, because if I eat right now I would be eating out of guilt, and that would be bad for my digestive system and for what I just bought, because I just know that I would eat more than I truly want and truly need. And what is interesting is lately, the past few days, I just experienced some sort of scarcity, could I say? Because I just felt that I needed to experience that. I wanted to change, or I didn't want, but I felt that something was happening, blossoming even, or hatching, and this rebirth as well is something that is correlated, linked to my father, because my father raised me and my sisters in a peculiar way, a specific way of, especially with money and buying or not buying stuff. And I think that I don't even want to blame him, because right now I know that what is the most powerful thing is just to be responsible of what you feel. So I will just mention that he raised us in an environment, and in this environment I just remember that it was tough to understand how to buy things, how to spend money or not to spend. I didn't quite understand how to do, and I think this is what is emerging right now, and I just need time to understand my own way of spending money and just buying stuff, especially groceries, because it's linked with something very deep, which is some sort of survival. And the past few days have been very interesting, because I just had this feeling that I was somehow appropriating myself a new way of spending money, which is the same as earning money. So managing your own bank account and how you spend your money, and especially with groceries and food, because it was very interesting these last days, and I'm very proud of myself, because I just pushed it, meaning I was resisting the urge of just buying stuff that I didn't really need in the moment, and I think this is something very interesting, because I'm speaking about consciousness and beingness and awareness, and I think that this is the one true way to be free, and in a very practical way, because you know that with capitalism and our society, our economic system push us to spend our money and to consume a lot, especially with the internet, which allow us to just click and order stuff, and just for for most of us, to Western people, I mean, we are able to receive deliverings, I don't know, deliverings and shipments, and you know that sometimes you just want to buy stuff just because you feel bad in your life. And yeah, this is really what I felt lastly, because yeah, I just felt this anguish and fear, those fear of, I don't know, something very deep about survival and being afraid of not having enough. And I think this is something very linked with or correlated with very diverse spiritual teachings, which is you are already complete right here, right now. And it's very interesting because in my own body, this is kind of updating, because yeah, I just didn't realize how much I was thinking that I depend on food. And as bizarre and is weird it might sound, what I'm just going to say, but I have this feeling that I don't really need food. And very interesting, because I think it doesn't prevent you from eating, but it's different to eat on with the perspective of being confident, or eating and buying stuff from the perspective of lacking and feeling tense because you feel that somehow something is missing in your life right here, right now, and you try to compensate. Oftentimes, I think, or all the times, it's very innocent, because yeah, you just don't, or I just didn't, I wasn't aware that I was so much clinging on food, and how much it was, yeah, a big part of my day, meaning that whenever I feel that I'm bored, whenever I feel I'm bored, I just think about what I'm going to eat next. And maybe it will ring a bell for some of you. But yeah, I wanted to share that because it's very, yeah, I think it's very human, very honest, and very related. It's very related to my experience of what I want to share always, but consciousness and being honest and just being free, because for me, right, and I think this is something that is taught in many authentic spiritual teachings, is that, and spiritual school, could we say, but it's not really in schools, because in schools, whenever there is this system of hierarchy, it will somehow be, I mean, for some people it will lead you or lead them to freedom, because at some point, it's the case for Krishnamurti. Krishnamurti was expected as one of the greatest followers or student of his time, and at some point he just said no and just got away, or he disappeared, or he just decided that he wouldn't follow the paths of the masters anymore, because he just felt that what is already true is the only truth that you can realize in your life, is that you are already free. And this is the one thing that is interesting is that whenever you realize that you are already free, you can live your life as a free person, as a free spirit, as a free soul. And whenever you wait for something to happen, you will wait, because whatever in India they say, how you think you become, or how you believe you become. I think this is how they say, meaning that the way you believe in your own thought system and beliefs will just somehow I don't know how to say, but you will see somehow the reflection of what you think and what you believe in this dimension, because I think I'm kind of afraid to say that because it's kind of big for me, but I think it's important. But I think that we truly are not, but we are here, but at the same time the consciousness that we are is not in this dimension. And it has been a big thing for me last year when I realized that what I realized I'm going to tell you is, with my own I'm going to mimic it so that you can understand. What I just realized is, oh my goodness, this is not in this reality that you will find happiness. This is, and you can feel how delightful and how light and refreshing my energy, my voice sounds right now, because as always, when this is the child realizing inside that something very simple and very just very true. And for me it just felt so liberating to realize that I was right here, right now, already free to not believe that any action, any project, anything in this dimension of the objects will bring me true and deep fulfillment. This is what I'm talking about, And I'm not telling you to repeat this sentence in yourself, because it won't work this way. So each and every one, we have our own somehow written destiny, I could say, and this will happen anyway, anyhow, in whenever it's not weighted for you. And for me, it was just the realizing that I wouldn't find anything really fulfilling in this dimension. And whenever I realize that, it seems that somehow I just turn, this is words, so it's not very important, but the look, could I say, just turn the other way around. So I just, or it didn't even do that, because there is nothing turning anyway or anywhere, but I think I just realized that it was fine, it was fine to just stay here, and somehow things are just happening by themselves, you know. And I think I want to share that because this is what I just realized more and more. And this is to me, this is the only real um, way to just, yeah, once again be free. I could say a way to heal, because I truly believe that this what I'm talking about, which is not something. This is not something. This is not a god or a specific state of mind, or this is not Kundalini. This is not. This is no big realization. This is just understanding, and just direct understanding, direct sight that it's easier when you're not believing that you are someone. You can play the game. You can play because it's easier to, and it seems that you have to use personality or an ego to just keep going with your actions. But I could even say that it's not even the case. I'm checking right here, right now, inside of myself, and there is not even an ego or someone right here, right now, decided anything. And yes, it can be frightening because you just like, but if there is no one, there is no responsibility, and yeah, it still gives me some chills inside because I do have some, how to say, some conditioning left inside. And I think that the most beautiful thing of it is that, yeah, I'm just experiencing one after another conditioning, because each and every one of them is some sort of contraction inside, and it's just painful, you know. And I think we all want this. The true one thing is that we want to be free from suffering, because I think we know deep inside that it's just simply more painful than being relaxed and being pain-free. And yeah, there is this just simple intelligence of life inside telling us that we want to be just relieved from any burden, any pain, any weight, any problem. And I think that realizing that you are not the owner, you're not responsible, you're not. And I could even say that there is a responsibility in life whenever you have this realization that there is no responsibility. Because when I realized that I wasn't supposed to be the master, the owner, you know, what we are, many of us believing is this belief that we are someone separated from nature in an environment, and that we are the only species, very smart, very clever, and there is, yeah, you and me, this simple separation. And yeah, we just believe that very strongly. But I think if we take the time to just consider that right here, right now, if you want, you can even close your eyes. But with time, you can just do it, or even right now, maybe you can do it with your eyes open. You can just feel, and I'm going to leave some silence after that so that you can experience for yourself and not being too much focused on what I say. But yeah, let's do it right now. So maybe you just had the opportunity to find some sort of silence, or yeah, or not. Maybe nothing happened for you, but I can almost guarantee you that if you take time to just be with yourself in this silence and it's so easier to just witness that life is happening without. And I want to share right now, and you don't have to believe me, but when you spend time here, coming back to this presence, could I say, I don't know if I even want to go further, because it's so better to just experience it for yourself, that I don't want to be too much explaining, because there are, in spirituality or in some traditions, you have this, in the Tao Te Ching, you have this famous quote that whenever the wise man is pointing to the moon, the fool is watching the finger, or just, I will try to find the actual quote. Lao Tzu, from Lao Tzu. If I type that, I just type Lao Tzu finger moon. If you can watch the finger, you can't see the moon. But this is not what I want to say. If I type Lao Tzu master fool. I don't know, but I really recommend you that you read the Tao Te Ching, which is the foundation of the book of the I don't really remember the tradition or the religion, because doesn't really matter for me anymore. Whatever, but yeah, what could I say more? I drifted away. I didn't really talk about my actual problem, but this is the thing, is that if you are a child, if you stay as a child, and if you remember how you were as a child, nothing really could. Of course, there are some stuff that just shook you, and maybe you had trauma as well. I'm not talking about that, but when you actually were a baby, nothing was really important, and nothing really was a problem. The world could end. You could just be, I don't know if you think about a bomb dropped on the hospital. Do you think that as a baby you would have cared about whether to live or die? You wouldn't care, because you're just so you would, and you were so open, so available to life, so confident, that you just let things be. And for some reason, and I believe that mankind just has to grow through this foolishness. In India, they call our time Kali Yuga, which is a word for dark age. And I think we all can agree on the fact that we are in some dark age of humanity and mankind. And I believe that, yeah, we have to go through this maybe a few more centuries of pain and despair and all of the things that we see in our, which is the reason more another reason to just don't invest too much energy and importance in the things of our world, to just try to take a few step backs from it, because yeah, you can feel that watching the news and spending energy in that is just bottomless, and just I think that we are many of us that just, or at least I did feel deep inside of myself that nobody would tell me to just drop it and to just take a few step backs and to even turn the TV off. But I just did because it felt good. And I think that all of that is just images that I can use to share about this presence that seem to be simultaneously in this world and not in this world, in this dimension and not here at the same time. And yeah, this is, yeah, I think I'm going to end here because I'm hungry, and now I will eat, because I just talked enough so that I just how to say, I just diverted or distracted my mind enough from the problem so I'm not even feeling that much guilty or ashamed. So yeah, and I'm more open to eat right now, in eating while being at peace, not eating because I just feel that I'm shaking, and sometimes you feel that you are craving, and whenever I'm feeling in that craving sensation, I try not to eat, because it will sometimes be difficult then for my stomach and digestive system to process. And even sometimes after that I can feel guilty because I supposedly ate too much. But of course, if you eat too much, I can tell you that it's not I think that you just had to go through that sensation. I think maybe it will sound crazy, but I think that we create all of our experiences, not as a person, but as a global consciousness. And even though there is no actual answer to the question why is all that pain and all that suffering would be a creation from our selves. And once again, I'm not telling that it's a creation from a human being, but it's a creation without being born. It's a creation as a global creation, but a creation without having been created by someone, no God or nothing. A creation of a pure absence of time. I think that, yes, if you think of that from the perspective, it will be very sick, because you think that, yeah, there is an evil God, evil demiurge. Do we say demiurge in English? Demiurge, yes. An evil God bad god that would have created this dimension so that he can play with us. But I think that if we realize that we are not only a human being but as well a global consciousness that has no limits and that has no separation in matter, then we can realize that we are just, we are responsible. We are responsible of our own actions, and we are responsible for not from we have the responsibility, could I say, but there is no guilt in that. So this is what is happening. There is not even we have the responsibility of anything. It seems that everything is unfolding as it must, and that we, or I have this realization, or I just realize more and more that the more you are aware of your own patterns and your own I don't know how to say, sick patterns, the more you become free of it. I think that you maybe, or even if you don't have an example in your own life, I do have so many examples in my life of just you just become aware of something that you have been doing or replicating in your life, and from the first second you just realize something you have been doing in your life, you just instantly feel that it will change, because only sleep of the mind, sleep of the soul can bring suffering and unawareness and just pain that we just I couldn't really say pain that we or hurt or harm that we do on people, because I don't really think it does work that way, because I just don't feel that we are separated anymore. But let's just say that yes, in the story we have been thinking that we have done some harm, and from the moment you, as a human, you realize what you have done, it just changes forever, and you don't want it. This is the moment, the special place where you just realize that there is no evil, absolutely no evil in life, is when you realize that each and every one of us, even though there are, from your perspective, horrible things happening in the world, we try, each and every one of us, every human being, even the most evilish, person, you will find your own politician for that, but even the most dark person who is trying right now, even though they are not aware of it, they are trying right now to find peace, and they are trying sometimes to find peace making war. So it's very bizarre and strange, but I think I'm just fine here putting some words about that. But I'm glad I share something, and it's very I think that this is one different video that I make on my channel right now, very diverse, kind of joyful, or really joyful, and it's very interesting because I wasn't planning at all on sharing that because I was thinking that I wouldn't be that clear or be that spontaneous because I was feeling stuck. But as you can see, you are never stuck because you are breathing, the heart is beating, and yeah, it's always interesting to come back to this presence and knowing that nothing is stuck. You are not you're not even reproducing bad patterns. I was speaking about sick patterns, but you're not even doing the same stuff over and over. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't work that way. So yeah, if you have insights, please share in the comment down below. I will read them with pleasure and great attention. And yeah. Meanwhile, take care and have a good one.